Hi 7th graders, I hope you've been doing well. Today we are talking about lesson 2.8, which is all about multiplying and dividing negative fractions. So our learning target is I can multiply and divide by negative fractions. So just a review on dividing and multiplying fractions. When we multiply fractions, we are multiplying straight across. 3 times 1 is 3, 4 times 2 is 8. So our answer would be 3/8. Okay, and then when we divide, remember we need to do keep, change, flip. So that means I keep my first fraction, change my divided sign to a multiplying sign, and flip my last fraction. So now it's 7/2. And then we just multiply straight ahead, straight across, just like normal. 3 times 7 is 21, 4 times 2 is 8, and we're done. But now we are going to talk about how to do it with negatives. So multiplying and dividing negative numbers is exactly the same as regular multiplying and dividing. Now you just need to remember the rules for negative numbers. When you're taking a positive times a positive, your answer is a positive. If you're taking a negative times a negative, your answer is still a positive. If you're taking a positive times a negative, your answer is a negative. And when you're taking a negative times a positive, your answer is negative. So that's all we're going to do when we are multiplying and dividing fractions. So let's start with number 1. We are taking -1/5 times 4/15. So before I even start multiplying, I see I'm taking a negative times a positive. If you go back and look in the chart, a negative times a positive gives you a negative for an answer. So I know my answer is going to be negative right off the bat. Okay, now let's just multiply straight across. 1 times 4 is 4. 5 times 15 gives you 75. And you can't simplify 4/75, so that is our answer. And remember, it is negative. Okay, let's look at number 2. 1/2 divided by -6/7. So if you notice, I'm dividing. So that means I need to do keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep my first fraction, which is 1/2. Change my divided sign to a multiplied sign. Change my 6/7. I'm going to flip it to -6. Oops, I wrote the same thing. -7/6. Okay, before we even multiply, I'm taking a positive times a negative. That's going to give me a negative for an answer. And now let's just multiply straight across. 1 times 7 is 7. 2 times 6 is 12. So my answer is -7/12. If you've watched this far, our word for today is, what should it be? Zombie. If you have watched this far, secret word is zombie. You can get 1 bonus point. Alright, number 3. We are doing -5/6 divided by -7/8. So again, we're dividing, so we do keep, change, flip. I keep my first fraction, which is -5/6. Change my divided sign to a multiplied sign. Change my 7/8 to a -8/7. Alright, so now I am taking a negative times a negative. So if you look back at the chart, our answer is going to be a positive. But before we multiply straight across, I think we can simplify some numbers. I can simplify 8 and 6. Let's divide both of those numbers by 2. 6 divided by 2 changes to 3. 8 divided by 2 changes to 4. Alright, so I'm taking 5 times 4, which is 20, over 3 times 7, which is 21. So my answer is 20/21. Alright, one last problem. I'm taking a -7/9 times -2. So again, -2 isn't written like a fraction. So to do that, all you have to do is write -2/1. That is the exact same thing. Alright, let's figure out what our sign will be. I'm taking a negative times a negative, which gives me a positive for an answer. Now we can just multiply straight across. 7 times 2 is 14. 9 times 1 is 9. 14 over 9 is my answer. And again, if you want, you could change that to be a mixed number, which would be 9 and 5/9. Is it 5? Yes. So that is the exact same thing as 14 over 9. So right now you can go ahead and you can work on H16 IXL. If you have any questions, please let me know.